Hey there, this is Outlaw Priestess, and so far social media is not exactly my biggest strength. I cannot quite get the hang of the Twitter thing. I can't quite get the hang of TikTok. I've never understood Snapchat, so I'm just going to give YouTube a go for the sake of sharing my thoughts on this, if nothing else. So, I can give a quick recap on who I am and what my practice is and why I have any right to speak on this. Spoiler alert, everyone has a right to speak on this after the video. But I'm just going to cut to the chase. I'm fairly active on the witchier, pagany, occultist side of Twitter. And I'm noticing people are continually responding to whatever the hell is going on WitchTok or the witchy side of TikTok pretty much every week. And every week there's some kind of new, ridiculous, sensational, clickbait type thing that everyone is up in arms about and freaking out over. And like what? This week it was offering urine to the Fae. The week before, what was it? They were hexing the moon. They were canceling tarot. They were, saying that the tarot is a closed practice. They're canceling the gods, and everyone is just losing their absolute minds over all of this. And, okay, let's just go with the frame that everyone has been going with, that these are baby witches, these are kids, these are inexperienced people who really don't know what they're talking about. If we're going to go with that frame, then can we decide to be the adults at the table and stop letting them dictate where the conversation is going? Because I'm just going to say they've been very effective at what they're trying to do, because what you're trying to do on TikTok is get attention and go viral in a sense. And we've all been helping them do that by responding to the exact talking points that they want to be talking about. And there's plenty of things that are worth our attention, that are worth our energy, and this stuff isn't it. I mean, this is like if we spent every second of every day telling people, don't do necromancy, don't touch Ouija boards, blah, 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 don't mess with ghosts, here's why. Like, okay, when is the last time a new, inexperienced person heard that and was like, ooh, great idea, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna not do dumb stuff that every dumb new practitioner does. Because we all have that phase, and if you say you haven't, then you're lying, probably. Sorry. So, like, just for example, some of the things that we could be talking about, like, can we maybe, if not have a consensus, can we have a conversation on, for example, what is the role of history in terms of our practice? If we're not all going to be all-out reconstructionists, which I don't believe that we should, what is the role of history? How much of our practice should it dictate? You know, like, where does intuition and engaging with the living spirit of the craft, where does that meld with having an understanding of history? Or, for example, I mean, what's something else that we could talk about? Maybe the fact that the coven structure has kind of completely fallen apart and fallen out of favor. Do we want to replace that with anything else? Can we replace that with anything else? The degree system, mentors, paying for practices, gatekeeping. There's a number of other things that could use the attention of seasoned practitioners, or at least people who have been doing it for more than a few years. And getting all up in arms and freaking out every time a kid does what kids do, I just don't see how it's worth our attention. And honestly, if they want to do ridiculous stuff, let them. You know, like, this isn't just me being a troll, even though it partially is. Let them figure out why stuff is a bad idea. And if they don't get any reaction, that's a reaction too. If nothing happens, then maybe the craft isn't for them. Maybe they're not actually doing anything of substance. Like, having no reaction from the gods or the fae or whatever it is you're trying to achieve, you will notice that it's not working at a certain point. Or if you succeed in pissing off the gods or the fae or whoever you're unwisely messing with, you'll notice that too. So whatever the deal is, let them learn. Because if they wanted to be educated, they would be. If they wanted to learn, they would be trying. It wouldn't be the blind leading the blind on the platform that is the least conducive to learning I've maybe ever seen in my life. And that includes Snapchat. That includes, Insta, that includes everything. So what I'm saying here is, if we're going to basically relegate them to baby witches, let's act like adults, please. Just a thought. I could keep going on about this, but I'll leave it at that. So if you are wondering, if you're not familiar with who I am, why I'm talking about this, I've been practicing for the past 7-ish, 8-ish years. The bulk of that practice has been as a druid, sort of solitarily-ish, affiliated with Arnriacht Vane. I'm also trained in British traditional witchcraft, and so those are the two main aspects of what I do. I'm curious about some other things, and people are allowed to be curious, by the way. I sort of mostly draw from the Celtic and Germanic, Anglo-Saxon kind of pantheons, but, that isn't everything. So I am also standing next to a roadside, and cars are going to start making noise. So I'm going to cap this video off, but this was just food for thought. You also don't need to have been practicing for 5+ years to talk about this. Everyone's allowed to talk. But I'm going to try and keep the conversations productive. Anyway.